Bow, chicka wow wow. What's up, party people? Welcome to another episode of Elevate Your Life. I am your hostess with the mostess. L as in the letter L, and key as in the key to your heart. Well, tonight we're going to be, first of all, I'm going to recap on the last few episodes or the last episode just for any newcomers that we have. But also, we have a special guest with us today, Mr. J, who's going to give us some perspective from Gen Z,
Gen X.
Gen X. I think we're going to be talking about relationships, reassurance of the self. He might be schooling me, actually. He might be schooling all of us, to be honest. So first of all, Mr. J, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
I'm excited to hear what you have to say on this topic because just in us talking about it, I'm like, oh, you really might be schooling me on this stuff. I thought I knew some things, but it's always nice to have a guest, a male perspective. And so just to recap, I know the last couple episodes were about Woody the Woodpecker. I am happy to announce I don't think he'll be interrupting us because if he is, it's usually between 4 and 5. So far, so good. Fingers crossed, y'all. Um, but yeah, I am interested to hear your perspective on reassurance of the self and what that looks like to you. So feel free to share.
Well, today I would like to cover this topic because there's a lot of people who enter and go out of relationships and not having self reinsurance. And what I mean by that, as in self reinsurance, of reinsuring yourself of your values and things that you actually hold to the light of a certain situations and people and things. All I'm just trying to remind people is don't forget about those things when you're going into a relationship because you're so attracted to the person that you could possibly be with at the moment, or it could, possibly think that you have a future with. Not saying that miracles or anything, or not saying that love is not attainable or unbelieving, but I feel like a lot of people lose themselves going into relationships
So true.
thinking that I have to please this person or change myself so much for the next person when really it's not that at all. If a person really loves and he really likes you, vice versa of men and women, they would compromise. And again, this is a big word for me, guys, because right now we don't have a lot of people compromising for the next person.
So true.
If if this is someone that you care about and you want to see them in your life every day, then there's some things you're gonna have to be willing to compromise for.
Examples?
So I'll give a maybe a small scenario.
Yeah, perfect.
Say if like someone has a certain routine in the morning and that other person has a whole opposite routine.
Okay.
If you love that person enough, you will come together 50-50 to work out a routine where you guys are both satisfied in some type of way. Doesn't require for every person in each party to be happy, but it does require a level of subtleness to it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because that is what compromising is. You might not have to like it all the time.
Right.
You might not have to agree with it all the time.
Yep.
But if you do love and like this person, this is something you're going to have to do. Now, back to my topic about reassurance of yourself. I'm not saying that, hey, you have to change your whole life and whole outlook of people and things on this one person's perspective. Your opinion and what you come to mind still matters.
Mm-hmm.
that person needs to love you and compromise enough to understand that.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying, like, if one person is a morning person and the other person is a night person, and that person comes in all hyphy because they're a morning person and you are not, and they're just like, "Hey, good morning," and you're like, "No, I'm not ready for all of that energy."
Exactly. No, that's a perfect example. So their next step is either the one of you has to be like, okay, let me take a step back. I know that my partner, she does not like mornings.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll come to her subtle
Mm-hmm.
and I'll go be on a different type of limelight on my time because I know this is what I like. But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to her and she comes out of that room, hey, let's turn the music down, let's tone it down a little bit. I know she likes coffee in the morning. Let's get her a coffee made or something. Maybe that might put her in a better mood to match your tone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mirror match. I like that. It's funny that we're talking about this because it's literally an example of me and my husband. He's a morning person. I am not. I need I need time to wake up, and he usually, on most days, not necessarily weekdays because we're on different schedules, but that's what happens a lot of the time. And yeah, that's a great example of, yeah, just be mindful of the other person's wants or needs, right?
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. If it's a I know a lot of people agree and don't agree with this, but the small and little things matter.
they do. This, I mean, I feel like if you talk to any happily married couple or long-term couple, they are
Hmm.
gonna say it's the little things that make the difference.
That's
So,
true.
yeah, I agree with you there. Okay, good to know. So basically, I just want to make sure I want to make sure I'm picking up what you're putting down. Is that you're saying, like, don't lose yourself in the other person and to be like them. Don't lose yourself in that relationship. Like, don't settle for things, and don't, like, because my husband's a morning person and I am not, I'm not going to like fake it and be a morning
Yeah,
person.
you're
Like,
hurting. At the end of the day, you're kind of not want to say killing yourself, but it's like you're demoralizing yourself to something that you know that you don't like and you're
right.
not happy with.
Yeah.
But if that person knows these things,
Hmm.
it's up to that person to take a step back some days and some mornings and be like, "Hey, I know she doesn't like these things. Let me go against what I don't like for a few days or
Yeah.
for a moment so she can get what she needs."
Yeah.
And this is the same on the other foot for women too. Like, if you know your man's like, you like to wake up and bump music and put on your makeup and stuff like that, but you know that he's a subtle person. If there's another place in the household, maybe we can go to, or you can go to for the moment and try that. Not saying like, or you could be in a situation where the bathroom's right next to the indoor room,
Yeah.
and there's some stuff that can't, be worked out immediately or in that that way. But if what I'm trying to say, guys, too, in another way, you can still be yourself, but if that person loves you, they're gonna tolerate them things, they're gonna tolerate that stuff, that those little ignorances, those little ignorant things that they find not to their liking and stuff like that. If that person really likes you and really loves you, it's okay. That's because it's minor.
Yeah, I think it is important to compromise. Okay, so let me ask you this question because I
Okay.
feel like you can totally relate to this. So, have you been in a situation where you feel like you you didn't have the self-assurance, or were you with somebody that was afraid to speak their mind to you and was just like, okay, I'll give you an example. So, before I met my husband years ago, um, had a boyfriend, became engaged, and he was kind of a pushover. I'm not gonna lie, he was a pushover. And I would be like, "Why don't you speak up for yourself?" And he was like, "Oh, just kidding. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that." And I'm like, "No, you meant it. just speak up for yourself. And in that moment, I was realizing he was dumbing it down for me. And I was like, why are you doing that? Because you're hurting yourself, because then resentment builds. So, were you ever in a relationship like that where you did experience this and you didn't have this like self assurance, or was it on the other person? What was your experience?
I love that you brought that up. So I've been on both hands of that foot.
Okay.
So my first situationship
Okay.
was with another girl a few years back. And at the time, she didn't have any guidance in her life. She didn't know where she wanted to actually be in life. She just knows she wanted to be successful at one point. Didn't have any, places to go. So she followed me through every step of the way
Okay.
and everything through thick and thin, which wasn't a problem. But at one point I start to question, like, what do you want for yourself? What are
Yeah.
your goals? What are your dreams?
Good for
What do
you
you
for
want?
doing that. Yeah.
She she couldn't tell me. She couldn't fathom the question that I asked her, what does she want for herself?
Oh.
And she never knew what she wanted for herself.
So she didn't take time to think about her own
She
needs. She was
didn't.
just worried about pleasing everybody else and
Pleasing the man in her life.
mm,
But fairly speaking, for our audiences, she was of a different culture from my
mhm.
own.
Mhm.
So in their culture, this is what they were taught.
Mhm. Mm. Okay.
So in my opinion, we are our own person and our own people. So it never really occurred to me that why wouldn't she want her own life?
Yeah.
Like because I believed in what she believed in at one point, and I was like, okay, if that's what you believe in, then I'm gonna go with it. But after a while, it felt like she was like I was just commanding her to everything, and I didn't
Mm.
like that. I wanted her to have her own opinion. I
Yeah, her
wanted her
own
to have,
voice.
say
Yeah.
something
Uh-huh.
something back.
Yeah.
And when, if she didn't feel comfortable with it, but she was not a compromising woman, like she didn't deal with that type of stuff.
Mm.
She didn't like the 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 the
Like she
the
felt like it was
friction.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, she just wanted everything to be easier, and she kind of lived like with some traditional good men live life, a happy life, happy wife,
Mhm.
instead of she was on, happy life, happy husband.
Mhm.
But after we took back time to take back to find out what she really wanted in life and goals, I told her to pursue those things, but she was so caught up on, oh, well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? This doesn't matter what I'm gonna do. What are you gonna do?
Mhm.
This is in, remind you guys, this is at the time where we were in 23, 24. I am 27, guys, at the moment.
Okay.
So,
So younger, still learning about
yeah.
yourself and what you want out of life.
hmm
But good on you for bringing that to her attention, because that is such an impressionable age. I mean, I have a daughter that's 24, I have a son that's 31, and she'll ask me questions sometimes and I'll be like, "Oh girl, you don't know because you're still young." You
Yeah.
know what
You
I
haven't
mean?
been through it.
Right. But I think that's really commendable that you did that. That shows that you do have mindfulness to where you're like, your feelings are important too. And there's a lot of people out there that would take advantage of that.
Of
And
course.
so good on you for being mindful enough to ask her, well, what do you want? What are you looking for? What's important to you? You know?
Well, I want you guys to sorry, I want to let you guys know that where this point of view is coming from, I was raised by a single mother, so I have very high respect for women. So I look for that drive in women to what they want to go get. So you guys are not, doesn't seem like you guys are just being weighed down of what the man wants and what you guys have to live up to all the time, because it's not it. It's what you guys have dreams and goals as well too. And you guys are I just want to let you guys know that please follow your dreams. Whatever you thought of yourself at the beginning of that relationship, don't lose that.
Yeah.
Now, if you do meet a man that puts a little bit more extra into your life, getting you to believe yourself and everything too, I commend that. But please hold your values to yourself and make sure that you guys believe in those values and you
Yeah.
can withstand that.
I think that's super important. I was also raised by a single mom, which is why I'm like, you don't let any food go to waste because we grew up kind of poor. I mean, when I was younger, not when I was like, I'm talking like elementary school, we did. I mean, but my mom was very, I don't, she was thrifty. She wasn't cheap. She was thrifty and she was mindful about,
She
you
moved
don't.
a little bit there, moved a little bit there,
Yeah,
get ahead.
yeah, yeah,
Understand.
which I actually do appreciate, especially because, at school we see all kinds of kids wasting their food, and I don't agree with that. Because the flip side, my dad lived out in the country, and just to try to make a long story short, so I was born in France, and when I went to visit my dad this is when I was 14, he was like, oh, you only get to take showers and eat this many times because we don't pollute our oceans like you Californians and all that. So it's a very different lifestyle
Yeah.
than what I was accustomed to growing up where I did. But what it taught me is like in different cultures, different things, and you have respect for that. You have respect for that culture. And it just made me more self aware about, yeah, I want to preserve our oceans and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it gave me a different perspective, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
It imprinted on you.
Yes. And so back to your single mom thing, my mom taught me all kinds of stuff about the man does this and the girl does. And I will say, my last relationship before my husband, my man was about 10 years younger. And he was like, damn, you so hard headed. Like, you think you're the man in the relationship. And I was like, well, I've been a single mom my whole life. So I had to be both. And so it was hard for me to let him take the lead because I was a single mom. And I was like, I had to be the mom and the dad for my kids.
It's just
So,
tough.
right. But now what I have learned, what he meant by that is like, let me be the man in some moments. Like, you don't have to take on both roles when you have a man in your life that wants to do those things. So it did make me like, okay, you're right. Like, let me let you go ahead and fix this screen. I don't need to do that because I got you. You know what I mean? I'm just using that as an example, but
No, that's
um,
it aligns. That's back to what I was saying. Like if you could go into a relationship and find that man who, wants to be that man in your life, help you elevate. I hope every woman finds that man that they're looking for that helps them, enough to where they want in life, whether it's physically, or emotionally. Because a
yeah.
lot of women, crave different things from men and might not be that physical role where he needs to come in and, be that masculine. He might needs to come in and just listen to her,
Hmm.
have her point of view.
So do you think that you had a good role model? This is getting kind of personal. So if I'm overstepping, let me know. But
No, it's
do you
okay.
feel like being raised by a single mom, you did get to see um, her having that self assurance, like she didn't let people take advantage? Or did you see a little bit of both? Or,
So to be completely honest, no, my mom was a very docile, sweet woman,
mm,
and it was very hard for her to connect with the men in her life because she's a very loving woman. But I can tell over the years, men have tainted her ways and her mind to think
mm-hmm,
different things.
mm,
My mom has been very loving, but it's just that she, at one point, as most young people didn't know what they want at
Mm,
certain things,
mhm,
especially when everyone in your life is playing with your love.
mhm.
And it's like, okay, so should I go venture out to different things and different stuff?
Mhm.
And that's what she did. And she told me from her own mouth that it didn't hurt anybody but her.
That's good she recognized that and shared that with you. I mean, especially if you're a young mom, that's the other thing, right? Is like if you're a young mom and these things happen, it does shape you because the 24-year-old mom versus the mom I am today is, and the
Completely
woman I
different
am
people,
today,
probably.
completely different. And I'm thankful to Travis, who is one of my listeners, who told me those things like, you got to let the man be the man. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. It's just I had to be both roles for so long. It's hard to like turn your brain off and go, you know what? You're right. You could do. But because of it, it did make me, I mean, it was a survival mode for me. Like I was the one that had to teach my son how to play football and all those things because his dad didn't really do that stuff. So,
See, and then sometimes it's a difference so it was a difference in my household. I completely gave up on a lot of the stuff that I did wanted to do to help take care of my mom. She
God bless you for that.
battled with me. She did. She battled with me. She wasn't an easy thing. Trust me, it was not an easy thing to just try to do. She wanted me to focus more on school and stuff like that. But it's really hard to focus on a lot of stuff when you see the woman that you admire most in life struggling.
Struggling. Yeah.
And I feel like this is why a lot of men don't have either love for their moms or the women in their lives because I'm new to Cali, guys. I'm from North Carolina. And as I'm hearing a lot of women's backstories from here, you guys deal with a lot of just disrespectful. I don't know what to even call some of these men. I want to say a word, but I don't know what type of group
It's
she
okay.
has. But
That's
these
okay.
men, I feel like a lot of these men do not love you guys. And a lot of these men are looking for handouts and looking for you to elevate them somewhere that they should have been themselves as a man, period.
Yeah, I agree. Facts.
And you guys, and then too, I feel like you guys are taking on a lot of mama roles with these grown ass men.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are not here to play mom. Like you're not here to play therapist and stuff like that. Next time a man comes to you, let that man come healed. If he says he has these problems, so go deal with them and then come back and let that man come deal with you. Because I promise you, me going in hurts to relationships with other females only projected things of my past, and it's not a good thing. Ladies and gentlemen, please heal yourselves too before you go into these relationships and get into serious with somebody, because you never know what stuff that you still have built up for trauma. And this was my mom. It's like she couldn't deal with a lot of the men she wanted to deal with because she had so much trauma from my stepdad, my real dad, and other men that was all through my life. And as a man coming coming from a boy at that time, it was very hard to deal with that because as a boy, I couldn't protect my mom like I wanted to until I got to a certain point
Mm-hmm.
of a figure or a stature as a man, or as I thought I was a man. But I was a little boy, a teenage boy, just wanting to see his mom loved properly and for her to stop struggling and stuff like that. And I accomplished them goals, and she does not struggle at this moment. She has not found love yet, so it does take it. My mom is 58 this year, and she's dealt with few men over the years. So just to let y'all know, it's not an age thing, and it's not an age thing. These men right now are still immature, even in their 40s, 50s, and
I can't believe
60s.
your mom and I could hang out and have drinks and share stories. That's crazy.
I hear them all, and I tell you, I preach to my mom all the time, and this is why she's such a outstanding woman right now. She's full of love, and she loves herself. And I had to remind her of this all the time. And not that she already had it in her. I just
Mhm.
had to reassure her that you are the woman that you are. And this is who you are. And don't forget that. This is what you came into feeling like. I know who the woman you were, and I know who the woman you are now.
Mhm.
Two can different people, but you learn to balance, to
Yeah.
mix those things.
So funny because my son and daughter tell me the same thing. My son's like, if this relationship doesn't work out, that's okay. And you don't need to bash each other. You just say, hey, we're just on different playing fields, whoop de whoop. And, he just breaks it down so systematically. I'm like, how'd you get to be so wise? And then I'm like, there is something about not just that we are as parents, but like I tell my kids all the time, you were supposed to be my son, you were supposed to be my daughter. Like there's nobody else that could parent you, or because they teach me things and I teach them things. So I love that you share that and you have that bond because we really do learn, from each other. It doesn't matter.
It
Age is just
does.
a number. Um, I could talk about this subject forever, but I want to make sure that we stay in our timeline and also that I give thanks to my subscribers. Well, we might have to do a part two, y'all. He might have to come back and share other
I'm gonna leave that
experiences.
up to your viewers and your commentaries. If hey, please give her some feedback in the comments. Let me
Yes,
know, like, if anything I said, didn't sit right with you, or if it resonated. Just please let us know something.
absolutely. I always invite my listeners to share your feedback and your experiences, like he said, if this resonated with you or if you have a different opinion, your comments, your feedback helps us be better and
Honestly,
be able to just share our knowledge. Knowledge is power, and I love that at such a young age you learned so much from your moms, and it breaks my heart when I hear sons talking about their moms and their experiences. Yeah, because you know what? My counselor told me you can end up exactly like your parent or the exact opposite. And mom, while I love you, praise you, my mom was tough as nails and she was the opposite in me as far as, well, basically, a lot of the even though she was tough on me, she was a good role model in that she taught me what I did and didn't want. Like I wanted a more nurturing mom, and she wasn't that. But that's what made me who I am, which I appreciate. But what I drew from her is her strength to go on, her perseverance, her don't take no shit attitude about certain things. You go to work as much as you can, always be learning, always be growing. So I took like the good and the bad, and I feel like
you weigh out your pros and your
yes,
cons from it.
exactly, exactly. Um, so I love that you drew so much knowledge from her experiences, and it made you more self-aware of this is the kind of partner I want to be and what I'm looking for. And yeah, for all of us to have a voice because our voice
It
matters.
does.
And we do have to value ourselves. And you're right. These men in California could learn from
Le-
you guys.
Learn from us country boys. I'm from North
Mm.
Carolina, guys. Go down there, go find you a country boy, and I promise you probably won't go wrong.
It's so true. It's so true. I always know when I'm talking to somebody from another state, I'm like, oh, you're not from around here, are you? And it's a compliment. It's a compliment to you for sure. Okay, well, I want to make sure that I thank all of my loyal listeners and subscribers. Thank you for your insight. I really
Problem
appreciated that.
anytime.
Shout out to Lisa Roberts Curbello. Thank you for being a loyal subscriber to me. And I'm glad to hear you had a wonderful birthday. Thank you so much. Shout out to Kara at lovemyartist.etsy.com. I'm always bragging to you guys about this multi talented woman, and you can find her link on my page. It's always in the podcast description. Thank you to Mike Kaufman for being a loyal subscriber, not necessarily a loyal listener or comment, but that's okay. That's okay. I know he listens. He just doesn't always have feedback to share or comments. Thank you to Jeff Pata. Namaste. You would be happy to know that I am following your words of advice. So thank you to you, Jeff. And shout out to Roger. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope to bump into you on the dance floor in the near future. And of course, Angie Germer of Thrive and Lavelle. If you are looking to lose weight or just gain energy, she provides supplements that fill the nutritional gaps in your life. And I think I covered everyone. Oh, Dr. Kyle. Let me not forget Dr. Kyle Few. He's not really a doctor. I just joke and say that because he is the know all be all. He is my guru that I go to for all kinds of advice. And he's written an amazing book, Commitment to Love. Love is a Verb. It's available on Audible via Amazon. You should check it out. And thank you for being a guest on my show. I hope that you will come back and we can talk about this subject. And
I would love to be back. It was nice. Thank you for having me on your platform.
yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. It helps the algorithm. And as he mentioned, we need to hear your feedback so we know what you want to hear, what you don't want to hear, or if you have any stories you want to share, we would love to address those. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. And as I always say at the end of my podcast, ciao for now.
Ciao, ciao.